Namaste everyone, welcome to the Charvak podcast. This is your host Kushal Mehra. So a lot of you email me all the time, Kushal, podcast के नंबर बढ़ते जाते हैं मगर तुम बीजेपी वालों से या कांग्रेस वालों से या किसी भी पॉलिटिशियन से बात नहीं करते हो. बात तो सही है, मैं नहीं करता हूँ. So I'm going to break that tradition now. So finally, for the first time on the Charvak podcast, I have convinced a politician to come and speak with me. And now I welcome the Member of Parliament from Mumbai North Central, Poonam Mahajan. Welcome.
Dhanyavad. Did you convince me or you just...
I did not need to convince you. I just basically said you're coming on the podcast and that's
said
about
yes.
it.
You decided a day at time also.
Yeah, so first of all, the most important question, what are you watching on Netflix nowadays?
A lot, because sometimes it depends on the mood. But right now I think The Diplomat has come. I'm watching that. And I won't call it interesting, but yes, the new season has come, Diplomat. And
See, American politicians तो ऐसे करते हैं. So our politicians are also like this scheming behind the scenes all the time.
मुझे पता नहीं, मैं तो करती नहीं हूँ, तो मुझे दूसरों का कुछ पता नहीं है. But The Diplomat is a bit filmy. I don't take what is on OTT very seriously. I just entertain myself. दिन भर वही करना और फिर शाम को भी किसी और को देख के उस पर सोचना अच्छा ऐसे होता होगा, इतना तो समय नहीं है. सो आई वॉच मोर ऑफ कॉमेडी. समझो आपने डिप्लोमेट देखा और आप सोच रहे होंगे कि हम वैसे करते हैं, तो और एक अमेरिकन कॉमेडी है उसके खिलाफ, उल्टा जाके वीप करके. Then you'll understand, do they really behave like this? I don't think so. So let's take it just for your entertainment value.
You know, the funniest bit in The Diplomat was they're really trying hard to convince India. So there's this particular scene, I don't know if you remember this, where they're like, okay, we're going to do this, then we'll get the Britishers on board and then we'll talk to the Indians and our war on Russia is all complete. And I was like, they really are desperate now. They're trying to convince India about their war on Ukraine through all these measures like The Diplomat too now.
I think that's why India is the bright spot right now. So हर किसी के conversation में India आ रहा है, भारत आ रहा है. We should take it as our victory.
Yeah.
अभी if they talk to us, not talk to us, वो मुझे पता नहीं. Or we listen to them or not listen to them, there are different things.
Okay, now on to some important issues. So let's discuss your political journey. Now, obviously, I know you for now more than a decade, and so a lot of people don't know Poonam Mahajan. They just know you about being the daughter of Pramod Mahajan, coming into politics. But so where did your political journey start? Also, how was it being in a political house? Like, see, I know, I've seen you mentioning it. Even on Smita's podcast, you did mention it. I would see Atalji in the house or I would see X in the house. Like, so what was your first impression when you would see these stalwarts of Indian politics? Because for you, they were not leaders, right?
Yeah, Babji, Dada ghar aaye hain. So people used to ask me, Babji, Atalji, Dada, Advani ji. And everything was so comfortable. भाजपा एक परिवार है. Actually, it was like a family. तभी पार्टी इतनी बड़ी भी नहीं थी. We used to at home, everybody used to stay at each other's houses. After the meetings, there used to be conversations. There are still conversations. And about what the family is doing, the human value, connecting with each other. So maybe because the party was small and my father was one of the important people in Maharashtra also, and we lived in Mumbai. So Mumbai was the hub, and I think the connect was quite deep. And maybe आपके आमने सामने जो चलता है आप कहीं ना कहीं absorb करते रहते हो. So there's so many examples I use now when I was the youth wing president, when I head something. I always use those anecdotes and examples what I saw when I was 10-year-old. If you ask me suddenly, it won't come to me. But maybe ये सारी चीज़ें थोड़ा थोड़ा you just take it as sanskar. So it was wonderful. I think I am hugely blessed that I'm my father's daughter, Pramodji's daughter, and I'm blessed that when BJP was growing, I always say that मैं भाजपा हूँ. उसका मतलब है BJP was born on 6th April 1980 and I was born on 9th December 1980. So मेरे से ज़्यादा भाजपा क्या होगी? So I think BJP and my birth and growing up with BJP has been similar. So for me, it was a great teaching and a blessing, I feel. Very few must have got it. I think I was the lucky one and I'm proud of it.
You know, you raised a very important point. So you were literally born on the same year that the BJP is born. Now, a lot of people don't realize that BJP the old guard, as they say, which even the current prime minister and everybody
Yes.
else is the old guard of BJP. They're used to losing. Even their supporters, the old supporters, like I'm a 81 kid, I'm used to seeing a
I know
Bharatiya.
you're younger to me. ये आपको बताने की जरूरत नहीं थी.
See,
It
it's
just
all,
depends on appearances,
yeah.
Kushal
Now
ji.
I know I look old. See, just look at me.
ना ना.
Look at me. So there is a particular new age BJP voter that has come, especially after 2014. That's very young. They actually are not used to the idea, so, of seeing a BJP that does not succeed. I mean, BJP loses. That's not my question. I'm just saying BJP has now become a winning machine from an electoral angle. So how do you, when you go in your constituency, how do you see that there is the old guard BJP supporter, there is the new BJP supporter, and do their expectations vary? Let's say a person like Kushal Mehra, I have never hidden my voting preference. Why should I hide? I vote for BJP. I might be critical of the BJP, and as people know, even मैं आज भी शायद criticize किया होऊंगा as I'm speaking with you.
Which
But
is
the point,
okay.
but the point is that I would not have a certain level of expectation from the BJP.
अरे.
I don't know. This is my opinion, and that leads me. But the new voter, do you see that difference now as a member of parliament, as in young 25 and under voter is more like at your face kind of a thing?
No, I don't think so. I think when we were in our 20s, we always wanted everything to happen fast. And we were also, as even individual human beings, we wanted to be the winning machine. If some seniors will come and tell you, Kushal, with age you learn certain things, you just wanted to, get really back at them and say, ye koi baat hui. So I think it is not with the generations with BJP or voters or 2014 के voters अलग हैं या 1980 के अलग है. It's just the leadership, how it evolved in BJP. Let me give an example with Atalji. Atalji had a very different personality. The intellectuals could connect with him. People who had this idea, freedom movement से जो आए हुए थे, they could connect with him. Younger children could connect with him. With youth connection, I think he had younger leadership under him. They could connect with my father, they could connect with Sushma ji in a different way, Arun ji in a different way. There were different types of leaders they could connect with, and that thriving youth who wanted something out of them, they could perform on that matter. It was all collective. Now we are luckily can see that entire combination from old guard supporting the youngsters with their, I always say कि युवा बहुत आग की तरह जलता है, एक तो उसे ऊर्जा मिल सकती है या सब कुछ खाक हो सकता है. So you have to take it from that youth. I think Prime Minister Modi has that combination as a leader. The old guard believing and understanding the struggle of BJP with him and with other leaders, and understand where we have reached from where we were, and the younger voters seeing the kind of, for at 72, the pace he has. I mean, it becomes very tiring for us to look at it and learn from it. But the pace he has, the ideas he has, the connect he has with every age group, and he knows where to cater. He knows how India can be bright spot and how do I sustain and take it forward. I think that he has it. That's why I don't find it so stressful. There are sometimes old guards do say, Ki, you don't have time. Then I'll make time. I mean, we all have to learn. The youngsters say, you're not fast enough. Then I'll try to run. It depends how a leader shapes and evolves with the liking of the democracy. If I old and new guard, if I just ridicule them, that means something is wrong with me. And I think BJP leadership understands where this country, with its oldest civilization thought process and the young strength, is going. That's what you can see in the Prime Minister. इसलिए कोई frustration मुझे नहीं दिखता.
That's good to see, because at the end of the day, I always say this. I mean, leadership and politicians are it's a tough job. People don't realize, because it's like a TV channel ना, it's a television set, क्योंकि हर आदमी का अपना television channel का choice होता है, और वो आके वो अपने leader में वो channel देखना चाहता है, and the leader's job is to make sure कि हाँ मैं वो channel हूँ. Maybe at times it may not be for real, and I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm saying it's a very tough job to satisfy everyone. But okay, one major charge.
But it becomes difficult as an elected representative. हर किसी की ख्वाहिश और तमन्ना अलग होती है. Sometimes it's collective, sometimes it's separate, singular. That time, it's a task. It's a task.
So, let's talk about this, because I think it's only fair I ask you this question, that what about this charge of dynastic politics? Because everybody says, oh, the BJP rallies against dynastic
मुझ
politics.
पे
Yeah, but look, people do talk about it. So,
I think you and people who have worked around me and seen me can explain it much better than Poonam Mahajan explaining herself. First of all, proud to be my father's daughter, proud to be born with BJP at the same year, proud to see all around me in that two-bedroom house where one house was only for the pracharaks and party karyakartas who can come and go, and that only had an AC. So we used to go and meet everyone to learn from them what they're doing. तो थोड़ी AC की हवा भी मिलती थी. That middle class living, to understand how party grew, and look at our party now, catering each and every Indian's idea, reaching to the last mile. It's very easy to say dynasty. Dynasty होती क्या है? कल मेरे पिताजी चले जाते और जाके मेरे लिए एक बेटा ये कंस्टिट्यूंसी हमारी यहाँ पे सिर्फ महाजनों का राज चलेगा. So that can be dynasty. By constituency, you have seen my loss in 2009, the Vidhan Sabha loss, which was मतलब बुरी तरह हार किसको
that was
कहते हैं?
Ghatkopar West, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and बुरी तरह हार किसको कहते हैं? But I've seen it very well. It took a lot of time for me to पचाओ that हार also. But 2009 election, I understood it's not dynasty कैसी होनी चाहिए. If there is a constituency is left by my father and given to me, I started being a Maharashtra Yuva Morcha Mahamantri, started working, traveled Maharashtra. If you ask me anything, किस जिले में क्या होता है, किसका क्या combination, I can tell you. It took a lot of time for me to reach here. It's not been an easy story. And I think BJP में कोई dynasty है ऐसे मैंने कभी देखा नहीं है. और dynastic parties हमारे देश में हैं. Dynastic party like Congress, dynastic party like Shiv Sena, DMK, they are dynastic proper. Some of them are, mostly I call them private limited companies, and that's how they put their stock on. But I don't think BJP dynasty, if Poonam is not contested, sab khatam ho jayega. I don't think so. And Poonam also does not believe that anybody coming, yeah, legacy, I do carry my father's legacy. Is that wrong to carry someone's legacy?
Absolutely not.
I mean, Kushal is carrying his parents' legacy, I'm carrying it. Now my father was Pramod Mahajan. That's a bigger name. And I understand that pressure is there. But when I tell people that I'm just his daughter, but I'm not Pramod Mahajan, वहाँ पे dynastic question ही खत्म हो जाता है. The seat I contested, 2014 election, you worked all over Mumbai. You have seen the most minus seat was Mumbai North Central. Everybody suggested, Poonam, don't contest. Who cared for me? It's going to be tough. And politically, one more loss will be very difficult for your future. But I took it as a challenge. I just wanted to break this barrier of and this false narrative, dynasty. And thankfully, it was a wave. In 2014, we won. 19 also was the same question. Becoming a youth wing president, I was not even dreaming of becoming youth wing president. कुछ तो थोड़ा बहुत काम किया होगा मैंने जिससे पार्टी ने सोचा होगा ना. So I really don't understand. My father died. He was a Mahamantri, a general secretary of BJP. Did they make me general secretary of BJP? Did I contest a seat which he used to contest in Lok Sabha? No. So how do I become dynasty? Yes, because I'm Poonam Pramod Mahajan, there will be more people knowing me. But with that also, no more people liking me, knowing me, more people not liking me भी होता है. So I learned from all these three aspects. So dynasty, I mean, that answer, I find that question only a bit old, outdated. अभी तो हाँ मतलब ये सवाल पूछना भी गलत है.
Fair enough. But look, at the end of the day, people are going to raise this question no matter
yes.
what the case. But now let's get to the real focus of this podcast, which is a city that both you and I love a lot, our city, Mumbai. Now, this is my first complaint. इलेक्शन क्यों नहीं हो रहे हैं हमारी सिटी के?
होंगे, ज़रूर होंगे. हमारी सिटी के नहीं, महाराष्ट्र में बहुत सारे पंचायत चुनाव बचे हुए हैं, नगर पालिका चुनाव हैं और फिर महानगर. सो म्यूनसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन सिर्फ मुंबई के नहीं हैं, बहुत बचे हुए हैं. As you know, we are going through this OBC quota court case. So it's sub judice. I'm not giving a political answer, but of course it's sub judice. They wanted these triple tests to happen. Triple test is done. The commission, I think, submitted report in court in June or July 2022. So now we are waiting what court is looking at it. Next is, of course, there'll be one more challenged that you cannot have quota more than 50%.
Okay.
So how government, and when the court announces what they want to say on this commission's report, where do we go? So election is actually stuck with that one aspect. Second, when the MVA government came in power, they wanted 236 wards because they saw it politically it's much more easier for them. Pass karaya 227 ward ki jagah only for Mumbai city. Then again High Court struck it down, and now again we have 227 wards for Mumbai Corporation election. But till the time OBC quota and few cases in Supreme Court, we cannot move. But we have a big administration handling all these cities. काम नहीं रुका है, चुनाव नहीं हुई है, I understand, but काम नहीं रुका है. I think there's more work happening since the BJP Sena government has come back in power, and we are really pushing the infra projects more, for Mumbai projects more, and it'll happen. I think October November में चुनाव होने चाहिए if court takes cognizance quickly.
Now, you spoke about, you used the word infrastructure. Now, my biggest grouse when it comes to Mumbai is, and I'm not saying these are your thoughts, these are my thoughts, the whole RA delay. I mean, whatever happened, and again, I clearly want to say whatever comes out of my mouth is coming out of my mouth, not her mouth. But this entire tree hugger mentality, I don't know how else to call it, that delayed the project. I was looking at the math when, you know, the entire RA protest was happening. I was like, they are protesting against this shed, and they are giving a particular number, and the whole idea is that the environment was going to be harmed. I'm not a climate change denier. I actually believe climate change is real. I believe in the reports. I believe in everything. But I also believe in carbon calculations, that the metro being run and formulated would have benefited the city and the environment a lot more. So as a leader, or, you know, at that time I believe it was the BJP government, and then unfortunately whatever happened was supposed to happen, did happen, whatever it was that, and then they stopped the work. The city suffers. The average person of the city suffers. So what do you, when people reach out to you and tell you कि मेरा क्या भाई गुनाह था, मैंने तो आपको वोट किया. See, the people of Maharashtra, even when the state elections last time had happened, I will speak from their perspective. They were told, this is, I mean, I know now the Shiv Sena has completely changed and Eknath Shinde is dead. But the point is, the people of Maharashtra were like, हमने आपको वोट किया, अब आप लोग ये करते हो, और बाद में मेरा शहर सफ़र करता है. So what do we do about that?
सबसे पहले हम सब सफ़र करते हैं.
Yeah.
सफ़र करते करते सफ़र करते हैं. So there are two suffers we are doing.
हाँ, तो ये जो सफ़र में SUFFER हो रहा है उसका
नहीं, and उसी गड्ढों के रास्ते से मैं भी चलती हूँ जिस पे आप चलते हैं, और उधर फिर as being just normal मुंबईकर, I get frustrated but I fight for it also. सबसे पहले I understand Mumbai did suffer with a lot of political. अभी I have been a tree hugger. I still hug my trees. I'm a, you know it.
I know, that's why I
pro
use
animals,
the word.
pro environment, climate change, everything is too serious for me. But I've been a very lovable activist. Politician बहुत बाद में बनी है. But because my activism was appreciated, I understand that with everything we are 1.4 billion now people. Demands of people, expectation of people, and working with that, how India has to go forward is also very important. Now, when you talk about metro, जो काम 40 साल पहले होना चाहिए था कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट में, वो 2014 में we started it. Being part of the only MP part of the CM's war room from 2014 onwards, I've learned a lot. I've seen the way we conducted the infra projects on a priority level. If 2014 those infra projects were not taken on priority level, we would have had 20 more years just crying for it कि carbon emission कैसे होगा, ये कैसे होगा, वो कैसे होगा. I think I was fortunate enough to learn this, and I was part of it in the decision making. 14 metro lines, it's a big deal. जो metro line 1990 में होने चाहिए थी, वो 2014 में 14 metro line, उसमें से almost 3-4 is left as proposed, all are on work. When you talk about RA, there is a very, इतना politics किसी मतलब on a people's comfort level हो सकता है, I never thought as it. It's just because I'm not a person who makes loud noises on wrong issues, and I have some patience on it. So what I thought, more than talking, let's do something. So when there was a movement went on about the trees around RA, let me just put it this way, because I'm very happy that Metro 3's 80% work is done. By this December, the first phase will start from BKC, my constituency, to RA, and I think the second phase will start. So by 2024, the entire Metro 3 will be totally active and working for people, where I think what the estimate in 2015 was 17 lakh people every day will travel in that metro, and the carbon emission 2.6 million tons every year will save it. Think about it. What is the biggest climate change impact we are trying to have with the sustainable development? But the problem was about these few trees. We had the court case. A lot of people came to me also. Poonam, you're our old activist friend. I said, look, when there is something about infrastructure, we talk about sustainable infrastructure, let's plan an idea. आपने चलो ट्री पे बहुत सारी लड़ाइयाँ हो रही, कुछ निकाले भी जाएंगे, कुछ रीप्लांट होंगे. There are a lot of areas around RA, because I'm a frequent visitor of SGNP. Wildlife is my favorite topic, and we all Mumbaikars are blessed that we have the national park, which is supporting the entire flora fauna, supporting Mumbai's health. I said there are a lot of areas around the national park which are degraded forest, and because it's degraded, you'll have a lot of shanty coming in, और वहाँ पे illegal development पूरी चालू हो जाएगी, and then again the SRA and everybody's discussion starts. I say, why not plant trees there and create more tree and more green cover, which will be much lesser as a crowd noise for the RA depot, then making it much larger noise that a government wants to do something, want to increase the green cover, and want to say that we are doing development infrastructure with sustainability. 2017, 16 or 17, we planted 29,900 trees. The fight was on 2,200 trees, 29,900 trees. Now these are 6-year-old beautiful trees covered near RA, and nobody talks about it. My problem with all my activist friends are, भाई कुछ किया उसका भी बोला करो ना. And that has added more green cover around RA than it could have happened any more time. So my only agenda is politicizing people's basic issues. We have to stop doing that, and especially it came from all younger generation politicians. If someone from older generation is speaking कि यहाँ तो पेड़ काट रहे हैं, ये हो रहा है, is understandable. Now with so much of population, infrastructural development, people, we need to find a midway. If we don't talk about sustainable, we talk about infrastructural development is understandable. Sustainable development, okay fine, ये हम नहीं कर पाते because it's impossible to do. Can we add something else to do it? इस पे ज़्यादा ध्यान देंगे तो काम होगा. And thankfully everything is online. Metro 3 will be ready, up and running, and the loud noises have been quiet now because they have understood, even the courts are in support, and we need this for Mumbai because Mumbai needs to breathe also. It's just not because of the green cover. We need to breathe to have more public transport on the system. गाड़ी चलाने से गड्ढे में जाने वाले कितने लोग होंगे? 5% मुंबई में. So this public transport, and somewhere we have to have a no nonsense policy, and I think we quietly did our job and we are up and running.
So what hurts the average citizen who actually will be using this, and when I talk to my friends, school friends, हमारे school के WhatsApp group होते हैं, they actually use the metro daily. Like I have 3-4 school friends जो वो अंधेरी से घाटकोपर की जो है वो तो रोज use करते हैं. They're like it transformed their life. They don't want to go in a rickshaw or a taxi or drive themselves. So they're like ये चीज़ हमको, and what bothers them, the average citizen, is that यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि सरकार बदल जाती है तो दिशा चेंज हो जाती है एक शहर की, और वो जो चीज़ होती है ना, that really hurts the average citizen. That's where I guess what I'm trying to say is that can't we in this city, for this city, मैं महाराष्ट्र को भी प्यार करता हूँ मगर मैं रहता तो मुंबई में हूँ, तो मेरे लिए मुंबई की एक दुखती रग है, मेरे लिए मुंबई एक दुखती रग है. So why can't all of you politicians come to a decision कि हाँ भाई इन चीज़ों में हम नहीं करेंगे, because to shut down the work just because now my government is in power really hurt the city right at the end.
No, I agree with you, Kushal. The problem is Mumbai महाराष्ट्र की राजधानी है, capital है, Mumbai contributes to Maharashtra, and understandable, it's not even Mumbai anymore. It's Mumbai metropolitan
Yeah.
region, and it's a larger place which we have to develop, because Sara jo kuch they created, it helps only Maharashtra, nothing else. And of course, India's development also. We are the biggest developing engine is the Mumbai city. Of course, there are new big cities coming up, but Mumbai cannot lose that strength. That's, I think, Mumbai's power, Mumbai's psyche, Mumbai's people. That entire that ecosystem of Mumbai is fabulous. That's how we contribute. Now, what do I say? Sometimes I'm also a human being and a politician who's come with new ideas in life. We always, when we discuss on the phone, there are always new ideas. It's not like that, dekha usne kya bola, dekha isne kya kiya. We don't have time for this. I really request, and I've tried that with the younger leadership of Mumbai and Maharashtra base across party line, कि भाई let's come together. थोड़ा हम सोच के कुछ करते हैं कि हम सब तय कर ले कि हम तो होर्डिंग्स खुद के लगाते नहीं, किसी और ने भी इलीगल होर्डिंग लगानी नहीं चाहिए. आई डोंट वांट एक्टिविस्ट, फ्यू एक्टिविस्ट टू क्वेश्चन मी कि तुमने किया, मैंने नहीं किया, मेरी कोई इच्छा नहीं. हाँ, आई लाइक टू सी माई फेस, चलो ठीक है, बट इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट आई वांट टू सी माई फेस इलीगली. So there are so many smaller issues, we all can come together. But I have issues with not only politician, bureaucracy. There are some amazing bureaucrats who hold the project and take forward. And there are some amazing bureaucrats who become very political with issues. That also with the young India, and I'm very saying it because it's my experience of past 9 years as a member of parliament, it becomes very difficult. They know how to say no in a very different way to you when the work can happen. And it's, some of them have been fabulous. When there is metro, bureaucracy heading it, they're doing a good job. But some really put us down because they don't go in public for voting. And people of India don't understand sometimes. I fought my election on PPP model, public politician partnership. Then I forgot, यार bureaucracy नहीं होगी तो partnership काम की नहीं है. So I try, but I don't know where to keep P में B कहाँ लाऊं, वो B पहले लाऊं या बाद में लाऊं. But I really try my best. This connection, if it doesn't work out, it's not going to work out so well. So my younger politician group, the problem is there is also a lot of ego. Why Poonam should lead this? I said, मत मेरे को lead करने दो, आप lead करो, but take my ideas. Take these ideas that we young politicians come together and we decide मुंबई में ये चीज़ें नहीं होनी चाहिए, मुंबई में ये चीज़ें होनी चाहिए. We will find a truce where we will not fight on this and we will make this happen. Though it is metro, though it is green cover. Why would I want a green cover to be cut? No. Why would you want it? But how do we find a solution is very important. That I really tried. It frustrates me. It doesn't, it's not a mark of a leader to be so vulnerable, but it sometimes frustrates me that younger leadership also sometimes for the gain of that time of TRP and certain way, which I should learn, but I couldn't learn it. And I'm grateful also that मेरी राजनीति TRP पे नहीं चलती. People who vote for me, I have to do that project, I have to work on it. But जब तक ये TRP पे राजनीति सब करेंगे, and that to younger generation, that frustrates me. Second, politician public partnership, how on a larger scale we have to work on is also very important. When I take some decision, people also, many times as a politician, I mean member of parliament, has happened, ये बिल्डिंग का काम, ये बिल्डिंग का काम, फिर ये बिल्डिंग इस बिल्डिंग की नहीं सुनती, ये बिल्डिंग होता है. And then what do I find? Some are supporters of certain persons, some are supporters of certain people. It's a normal thing. But I find a midway to make everyone happy and make sure the project is done, which will be in a greater, beneficiary project for those people. That I don't see in many people. It's not like that I do it well, but I need more power from our younger lot to help us to make one set of people. क्योंकि इंटरनेशनल प्रैक्टिसेस पे बोलना बहुत मज़ा आता है सबको, मैंने फ़लाँ यहाँ देखा, फ़लाँ वहाँ देखा, इंडिया में होना चाहिए, बट वो आप कर सकते हो क्या? Few of my activist friends, he said, I have seen certain, we should have, one person told me we should have public swimming pools. I said, we do have it. No, we should have it in certain way. मैंने भाई यहाँ पे पानी की दिक्कत है, and that country has only 25 million people. 25 million तो हमारे यहाँ एक शहर में आ जाता है. So it makes a lot of difference. How do we work on those practices? And ego battle is the only problem, and TRP battle. But I try my best also with bureaucracy. I don't lose my cool. Sometimes I understand them also, that they also come under a lot of pressure. But that connection is also very important. I don't know how many people speak about it, but I thought, well, let me just put this forward.
सो एक टेक्निकल क्वेरी है, ये युवा नेता शब्द जो है बहुत यूज़ किया जाता है आजकल, इसमें कोई कट ऑफ डेट है कि मतलब वो कौन सी थी पिक्चर, वो उम्र 55 की दिल बचपन का, वो क्राइटेरिया से आजकल युवा नेता डिसाइड हो रहा है?
अभी युवा नेता, कल ही मैं एक बैठक में बैठी थी, एक बहुत सीनियर हमारे लीडर है, ऐसे ही मजाक में हमारे लंच टाइम पे कॉन्वर्सेशन चल रहा था, तो सीनियर लीडर है, इतने मतलब युवा ही हैं, अभी मैं उनको युवा समझूंगी क्योंकि इस देश का जो युवा नेता है राहुल गांधी, वो कह रहे मैं उनसे 6 महीने छोटा हूँ पूनम, तो जब तक वो युवा रहेंगे तब तक मैं भी युवा नेता रहूँगा। मैंने सर वो 70 साल के होंगे, तो कह रहे नहीं मैं 69.6 में युवा रहूँगा, बट मैं उनसे छोटा हूँ। अभी क्राइटेरिया, एंड ऑफ कोर्स एज इज़ ऑल नंबर, आई बिलीव इन इट. When we grow old, we always believe age is number. I mean, Kushal, we won't believe that in our 20s, but in our 40s, we always believe age is just a number, and दिल पता नहीं कितना छोटा होना चाहिए, पर दिमाग एकदम यंग इंसान की तरह काम करना चाहिए। अभी कट ऑफ डेट है कि नहीं मुझे पता नहीं, लेकिन क्या करें, मतलब इस सवाल का जवाब मुझे पता नहीं कैसे दे सकते हैं। युवा नेता, ये एक तो नेता, ये शब्द ओनली वी हैव टू समवेयर उठा के पटक देना चाहिए। नेता, नेत्री, इट हैज़ टू बी मोर ऑन अ पब्लिक लीडर हु, आई मीन वो शब्द भी उसको इतना क्रॉस करके रखा है कि युवा नेता, हमारे नेताजी आए, कहाँ आए, मतलब एक छोटा सा कोई युवा लड़का आएगा 4 बॉडीगार्ड लेके आएगा, आजकल तो ये बहुत फैशन चल रही है, बट ये युवा नेता कॉन्सेप्ट मुझे अब तक समझी नहीं, मुझे किसी ने युवा नेता बोला ही नहीं। मुझे लगता है महिलाओं के लिए अलग कॉन्सेप्ट होगी, देयर शुड बी समथिंग डिफरेंट फॉर women. I always see that parity, it's a different thing.
Do you think it is harder for women politicians in India?
I mean, it's harder for anybody to be in
In
politics. In general, in life is also difficult. But I see that someone asked me a question, what do you think about a woman in politics? Is it a fight between man and woman? I said, no, I'm a member of parliament. It is fight with other members of parliament where I do better than them. So that's point number one. Maybe my psyche, my bringing up is completely different than many other people, and it's not like that they were wrong, but they faced a lot of this gender, problem. They must have faced it. That's why I was raised, it was much more equal. My father always believed, बेटा 7 बजे घर आए तो बेटी भी 7 बजे आए, या बेटी 7 बजे बेटा लेट जाए तो दोनों भी जाए, या दोनों जल्दी घर आए. So there was nothing like a set बेटे के लिए कुछ अलग बेटी. Maybe that's why I never compete myself with men as an angry woman. But there's one more problem in politics, maybe many other places. People ask women help women in politics or not. I saw that question, someone asking, a very senior leader. They said yes, we do. But there is one little problem in that. I always say this, that why women leaders, I won't say politician, in even any other aspect in life, why they don't get along. It's not because there are certain ego hassle and issues. There is this much of space and there's so many men. For women there is this much of space and these many women. I don't know how to explain it to you.
No, it's a supply demand issue.
Yes, and intellect is equal, mehnat is equal, everything is equal. It's not it stops me as a woman. Ulta, I have to do a lot of work to step out of the house. I mean, with my children, with my life, with everything. And I've seen it. I saw this actress, and it happened just now today with me, what to cook for lunch and dinner when I'm on serious calls. And it is I don't know, Vidya Balan, her interview I saw, in which I really resonate myself to it. When a man is busy on a phone call, nobody will come and stop him कि भैया आज खाने में क्या बनाना है. But when I'm talking something more serious, they have this, ताई तो क्या है, उसको ही घर देखना है. So they'll say, आज खाने में क्या बनाना है. I'm on a call. Can you not do this? So this taking lightly a woman's job also sometimes happens. But I don't know, maybe we are here, I don't talk too much about it, how difficult it is for me, then getting more women with me. I mean, my office also now, there are 70% women handle the office. Now, it's not some feminist message I'm giving it to you. I'm just trying to say I'm comfortable with women. One thing about women, which of course men have it sometimes, is dedication and loyalty. That anybody, I see it more in women. We were discussing before the camera started about men and women, their attitude and concept. I see that in women. When I was heading youth wing, I think maximum number of women joined us, and not from a political idea. Many are now spokesperson on TV, many are doing something else. But I gave that, I just opened that gate. It doesn't matter to me you're a man or a woman, you just should know how to perform. That helps women to think in a, if I say नहीं मुझे 30% women मेरे टीम में रखने हैं, तो फिर वो वही हो गया ना, एक नॉमिनल सेरेमोनियल फोटो ऑप की तरह. मैंने जस्ट वो जेंडर पैरिटी इक्वल कर दी, वो खोल ही दिया. ऐसे एनीबडी परफॉर्म्स एंड women actually do it very well.
So I'll give you an interesting experience working on the village you had adopted.
Yes.
So as you remember, at the panchayati level now there are reservations for women to
Yes.
in representation, and I remember going to Charoti, and when I used to talk to the women there, and I asked them, you remember the lady who was the representative of the women of Charoti, and I asked her, who are you? And then she told me, like, my husband used to be, now it's a women's seat, so I fought and I won. Then I asked some other women, oh, she just came here because she was associated with the husband. I poked the bear in the village, and they said, no, she's an independent woman. Imagine me being told off, and so-called urban elite being told off by those tribal women. That village was almost 98% tribal. And I clearly, distinctly remember that. But it's very interesting that you use, because in political outfits also, if I remember correctly, only BJP has consciously made the effort to make sure at least a certain percentage of office bearers at every level are women, right? Through
And
the
it's
constitution.
more than that now. Through the constitution, and you see the women members of parliament higher in BJP. Need more? Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Reservation will help, maybe, but we should not wait for a certain complication and political matter to work on it. BJP never believed, हाँ, reservation है, अच्छी बात है, we take it forward, very good, but maybe we'll get more women in party. I mean, we have women's wing, youth wing, this wing, that wing. I see so many women that I did not see 15 years before in BJP, which I see it now. And I'm saying it with my own experience. There were few people, like when I became youth wing president, there were few older people who were still being युवा नेता in youth wing. Some remain, ना, वो कहीं जाते नहीं, वो युवा नेता ही रहते हैं. One person said, अभी हम जनाना से बात सुनेंगे, अभी जनाना मर्दाना हो जाएगा. So first it confused me because I didn't know that Urdu term. I said, अच्छा. So I made him sit next to me and I made sure that he praises me more and says कि अभी महिला जब युवा मोर्चा आगे बढ़ाएगी तो वो अच्छा काम करेगी. And of course it happens, but how do you take it? Am I here me against the world kind of an attitude? No, yaar, I'm a woman. I have got amazing qualities which sometimes men don't have it. Though it is loyalty, though it is maybe innately I'm a woman, that's why I'm more softer, more loving. It comes out very, genuinely from a woman. Why I have to make an angry woman face being a leader where I can be a soft woman face? I should know where to show my emotions. Yes, I learned my lessons also. So as a woman, when I was more assertive in talking, when I was not a member of parliament with less experience of my political career, they used to call me arrogant. Ki Poonam badi arrogant hai. Now, with my experience, when I talk, they listen to me. You just have to wait for your time and your work. That experience, when you evolve yourself with, then there is no woman and man. I really don't feel it, frankly. I feel actually more, I say that, I can say this on your podcast, when we talk about political mapping. इस जाति के इतने लोग हैं, इस धर्म के इतने लोग हैं, we just see it how it works and percentage of voting. I say, for a man, if there is a leader who not in a higher strata comes, we say, अरे वो tribal leader है, अरे वो फला leader है, अरे वो फला leader है. Woman is only a woman leader. They don't call her tribal woman leader.
So the woman identity trumps every other identity.
So remember Charoti में आप गए, हमने सोचा था कि we do something with men, an idea to work on, because we had a lot of support to uplift that village under Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. We had 3 villages, you took care of all 3. In Charoti, then we realized because they were farmers and there was a certain time they used to farm, or other time they used to just rest and take care of themselves only.
That's a nice way of putting it.
So what we decided, we have to empower the house. And now you don't have to empower the man to empower the house. You have to empower the woman to empower the house. because she knows how to distribute her empowerment and how to distribute that strength to everyone else in the family. That's why we started with that Anita Dongre's big workshop where all women are doing very well, and she has increased it in much larger facility, and all her clothes going to New York are stitched by our charity women. So we just have to understand how do we empower people. मैं उसको woman या man नहीं कहूँगी, and I don't want to make this fight between man and a woman. I find it is a waste of time. It's totally a waste of time.
There is one thing I think again to fight की बात की, so हाँ, मुंबई वालों को करनी पड़ेगी.
करो.
भाई हमारे रास्ते कब ठीक हो? I mean, I always say this. Monsoon is coming.
Yes.
जैसे वो कौन सा था वो जिसमें बोलते हैं winter is coming.
Game of Thrones.
Game of
Ask
Thrones.
me.
Yes, Game of Thrones. So monsoon is coming is the saying for Mumbaikars, because suddenly when the monsoon starts, Mumbai is like a moon landing. हम यहाँ पे moon landing का experience देते हैं हमारे citizens को कि जब हम लोग जाते हैं तो हम लोग ऐसे camel ride के जैसे झूल रहे होते हैं, इतने खड्डे होते हैं. When will Mumbai have proper roads? I don't. I have asked this question to every politician I meet in Mumbai. Why can't we fix this damn problem?
It's embarrassing to even answer this question, because I feel we all are involved in this where we could not make that difference. Let me be very open about this, because again, showing my vulnerability, I could not do this, I could not do that, then why I'm sitting here? That's also very important. If I give you an answer that Mumbai के गड्ढे शिवसेना देखती थी और उन्होंने ऐसे किया, फिर ब्यूरोक्रेसी देखती थी, उन्होंने ऐसे किया, फिर वो साइकी भी पूरा पोलिटिसाइज हो जाएगा एंड आप भी गड्ढों में चलोगे, मेरी भी गाड़ी उसमें सही चलेगी, वेर वी हैव all our back and neck issues. But I have this idea where Mumbai is now, thankfully, now the CM Shinde has taken out a huge budget to make Mumbai roads. But in that also I have given my suggestions. Now everything I can't control it and answer for it. But being very honest, first of all, this even in the CM's war room in 2014 to 19, I had suggested that Mumbai roads should be a project itself. That's point number one. With not only making Mumbai roads straight, with having proper pedestrian walk, not letting a lot of people controlling the pedestrians area, and people should have proper Mumbai roads. The problem is politics does come in between कि ये रास्ता नहीं होगा, यहाँ पे ज़मीनें होंगे, but we need a foolproof plan. We don't need कि 100 रास्तों को ठीक कर दिया. So somewhere we have to find, I'm being very honest, find a foolproof plan that Mumbai Roads Department has to be more and more empowered and under only one department. It cannot be under several other people. That's why the quality and quantity has issues. That's point number one. And I've suggested that to the CM's office also. And the kind of money is not important कि मुंबई के रास्ते कैसे बनाने हैं. The engineering is very important. The sustainability is very important, and very important with those lower level engineers to that municipal corporations, assistant municipal commissioners, that blacklisted contractors must not build these roads. Now, do you understand the story behind it, how it works? So these things have to be strongly, and I've given this suggestion to the CM that now these things we have to take it very seriously. रास्ते तो बन जाएंगे, 6 महीने में सारे रास्ते बन जाएंगे. Good amount of money we are putting in, and I think उसमें से 80% रास्ते अच्छे ही रहेंगे. But वो कितने लंबे रहेंगे, क्या नहीं रहेंगे, we have to work on this. But this time, I believe it's taken more seriously. Mumbai roads were always discussed, but the solution was never seen. This time the budget is properly planned. If you see the map on the BMC's website, we have inaugurated a lot of these road works also in my constituency. You will see a proper line where they first time the engineering, I won't call it marvel, but at least all engineers in BMC department got together. They made these colorful lines which is going to work when and how these roads are connected. So let's wait for 6 months. Monsoon mein, it's not only about roads, it's about our drains and nalas from Meethi River to everywhere. We need to work on this on a more priority basis. I've been talking about this, but talking to the media is not going to help me to just to gain TRP and where my government is sitting. What I try to do is finding more solutions, and I think things will turn out well and faster.
Another aspect of Mumbai is the footpath. So I'll narrate an incident. I remember एक ज़माने में जब मेरी टेक्सटाइल की फैक्ट्री होती थी तो मुंबई MPCB Maharashtra Pollution Control Board had invited all of us, some of us,
जी
as a representative. They were giving us a presentation of IIT Mumbai. So what IIT Mumbai was showing is what are the top 5 reasons for particulate matter, SPM basically.
या
And a very interesting thing that they showed us was because Mumbai roads are planned so poorly and they don't make the footpath properly, so a lot of dust particles are generated because of that. Uh,
not only because of that, we have a lot of construction happening in Mumbai every time, and we don't follow many rules. Now, someone comes to me, Poonam Mahajan, you MP, ये रूल ट्रक बाहर निकल रहा है और उसके टायर साफ नहीं हो रहे, तुमने क्यों नहीं देखा? आई हैव सीन इट इन सिंगापुर. आई सेड नाउ that can be why we have maximum governance, what everybody has a duty to do. That level's ward officer has to be strict to look after it. Okay, fine, I'll make one phone call कि आपने ये क्यों नहीं देखा. That collective effort will make a lot of things easier, as I just wanted to add to it. Even encroachment on footpaths, you might ask. So a lot of times it happens that encroachment is done. I said once we stop shopping on those footpaths, sometimes encroachment will be much more under control than sending police officers every time and picking them up. And something happens at the end that I'm not saying it, just we need collective effort and collective thinking. वो psyche थोड़ी collective होनी चाहिए. And lot of things are changing since 2014. I'm telling you, Kushal, before and after, and from 19 onwards. Now it's not only a politician who comes after 5 years in a questionable situation. Now those bureaucrats also, even many other civil societies who work with us are questioned. Public को समझता है किसकी कहाँ गलती है. पहले ना बहुत घुमा के कोई भी जवाब देके पॉलिटिशियन पे ले आता था कि ये सब इसका काम है. Now people know कहाँ किसके लिए जाना है कि they know if there is a certain BMC work, a ward officer has to do it. And I'm grateful when I suggest this to my constituents, they do that follow up. So we are changing. I look at it positively.
Now, one big disappointment for me.
You've been disappointing from first question onwards.
No, but
I thought it'll be a fun podcast.
No. See, at least somebody has to ask the tough questions over here. Nobody nowadays does. The area for kids to play. You and I both are original Chembur people. I mean, I'm original Ghatkopar. You are actually the original Chembur girl. I was born and raised in Ghatkopar. But when we were growing up, we actually had areas where we could go and play.
Yes.
Where did they go? I mean, आजकल बच्चे, अभी लोग बोल देंगे अरे बच्चे बाहर का निकलते हैं, वो तो इसमें घुसे रहते हैं. हाँ, वो घुसे रहते हैं, मगर बहुत सारे बच्चे बाहर भी जाते हैं खेलने को.
इसमें इसलिए घुसते क्योंकि हमारे पास ओपन स्पेस नहीं
है ही नहीं ना, तो उसका क्या करें? Like this is a serious. You're a mom. You also know the kids want to play, right?
एक बेटा तो ओपन स्पेस ढूंढ के 18 साल का हो गया. एक जनरेशन. But we do have open space. Now let me again put it this way. Somewhere the municipal corporation of Greater Mumbai needed a leadership which didn't work. I mean, we also let things go. That leadership to, it's not like that कि हमारे पास plan नहीं है for open space. Mumbai's plan is very well made, DP very well made, a lot of changes are very well made, and we do have open space. The maintenance, I built so many gardens, but the problem is maintenance gets into a very difficult part. Some politician and some parties took those open spaces and created their own clubs. उसकी वजह से कोर्ट केस हो गई because there is one garden in Dadar called Pramod Mahajan Kala Kendra. Beautiful 13-acre garden. अभी वो शिवसेना के वक्त खुदवा के वहाँ पे कोई पानी की टंकी लगाई है. Now they will not make the all. If you had come for that inauguration of that garden, you could see the indigenous beautiful trees. Kids could play. 13 acres in Mumbai, in Dadar, next to the full market, is a big achievement. But how do we take them? I spoke to the municipal commissioner, then municipal commissioner, ki, sir, can you give it to someone else to maintain it if BMC can't handle it so well? Why not? Let's be more on public-private partnership and work it out. He said there are 3 court cases pending because of 3, open spaces were taken over. So there was so much of this kitch pitch. But I believe, and now in my constituency also, I've got a little bit of money to work on. Some areas in Bandra and Kurla, I'll be making a very different open space for them to play. But we do, Mumbai need open space, more maintained, more well. Some are beautiful, still lovely, but we need it more. I even suggested, and they're doing it around the coastal road, how you see it in New York also. Around the coastal road, you will need more gardens. You'll have more open space where you can put a tennis court. अभी क्रिकेट तो हर जगह खेल सकते हैं गली में, लेकिन टेनिस आप गली में नहीं खेल सकते, या बास्केटबॉल गली में नहीं खेल सकते, या फुटबॉल. So there are a lot of spaces being created when you see the entire plan. I think in the next 2-3 years we'll see more open spaces, and I'm proud that I was part of that team in the CM's war room.
Okay, so one criticism hurled at your political outfit recently, Uddhav Thackeray ji said, and I'm quoting him, he tells people to rise against, quote, the corruption washing machine of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So, what do you have to say to that?
I think उनमें मतलब करप्शन वॉशिंग मशीन, आई थिंक उनको इतनी बार हमने वॉशिंग मशीन में डाल के भी वो साफ धुल के नहीं आए, इसलिए वो किसी और को कह रहे तो भगवान जाने. आई हैव नो आइडिया अबाउट दैट. एंड दीज स्टेटमेंट्स, जस्ट बिकॉज you want to make some political statements to create a certain air around you, it doesn't look good for us, that level, that stature leader. BJP, there are two things. BJP as a political party which has an ideology, and that way our ideology is all about serving people. If you read out many other political parties' ideology, मुझे उस कागज़ में आप दिखाइए, उसमें लिखा है कि जनता अंत्योदय का काम होगा, we will reach to the last mile of the people. It's our ideology, and all the time we say about it. And every government which BJP had and has now, they've always been reflecting that ideology in that manner. You tell me what is Shiv Sena's ideology. You tell me what is Congress's ideology. Just tell me their ideology. Is there a document in their ideological document or on their website जहाँ पे लिखा है कि हम जनता को इस तरीके से मदद करें? BJP always talks about nation first, है ना, party then, because you need an organization, self last. Where is that? I mean, ये आप एक दो ऐसे अपने डायलॉग मार के अब अपनी TRP फिर से बढ़ाओगे, फिर एक दो चार लोगों को अच्छा लगेगा, तालियां बजेगी, इससे मतलब क्या है? Do you want to have a larger discussion on corruption base? Sure. Tell me, in past 9 years, is there any corruption which is, been questioned by court or any other agencies by a BJP minister? See, Government of India, how we are working. I don't understand these. It'll just give him 2 days of entertainment or one question to you in a court. What difference does it make? Tell me. Do you want to take out, because his party did so much of corruption in Mumbai Municipal Corporation and he could not wash himself well, and maybe he'll be questioned very soon about it. That's why he's being little uncomfortable. I don't know.
All right, now one more. So हम युवा नेता की बात कर रहे थे, मगर एक्चुअल में युवा होते हैं. So how does the BJP intend to, at least in Mumbai now, when I say young kids, I'm not necessarily talking about a particular financial grade of the society. I'm just talking about young kids in general, whether they live in Ghatkopar, whether they live in Ramabai Colony, whether they live in Dharavi, whether they live in Malabar Hill. There are young people everywhere. What is the plan of BJP when a young kid looks at the Bharatiya Janata Party? Young kids are aspirational, right? The whole idea is aspiring to be something. So what is the BJP's plan to reach out to them?
Kushal, I don't consider it as a Mumbai problem or Mumbai solution. I see it more on a national holistic way. Aspirational India, we are aspirational India. Since 2014, since Mr. Modi's taken over as the Prime Minister of India, I think he just did not speak about aspirational India, he gave those opportunities of aspirational India. When you talk about startups, the other day I had a big fight with my political members. One of the AAP members said, all startups fail. I said, did any startup happen before 2014 which was also failing or doing well? Do you know anything about it? 15% startups are doing well is a good number. That means we're inching towards, on a larger scale, to do well. Seed money for startups. Everything, every policy around Government of India is for aspirational India, aspirational youth. Now, every youngster is not doing a job for a certain company or want to do, मुझे अभी सरकारी नौकरी चाहिए, मुझे चाहिए. बहुत सारे बच्चे आजकल कहते हैं नहीं मैं इससे शुरू करूँगा या मैं अपना सीड मनी डाल के. Now we have social media, we have everything. that aspiration is created by Government of India. It's not someone living in Malabar Hill also, someone living in Dharavi, someone living in Sultanpur, someone living in Meghalaya, Manipur, anywhere, Kashmir, Srinagar. The aspiration and the investment by the Government of India with every ministerial department is huge, and that aspiration we want to meet.
Fair enough. So before we wrap up, one last question. जैसे IPL में सिटी बेस्ड कंपटीशन होता है ऐसी आई एम ऑलवेज एंड बिफोर एनीवन RCB sucks. So
I have no comments on these things.
Yeah, it's okay. I completely understand.
But I still want Mumbai people to win.
Obviously, see, I mean, if anybody thinks, you know, to all you RCB people, 5 times IPL, once the women's team has won IPL, and look at the number of times we have won the Ranji Trophy. So please, आप चुप रहें, आप हमको ना बोलें.
लेकिन Bangalore city is also competitively doing well.
हाँ, मतलब.
So let's be honest also about that. Mumbai से competition Bangalore बहुत अच्छे रूप से कर रही है.
ये आप किसके साइड से बोल रहे हो?
I said I want Mumbai people to win because that's my city. But हम सब भारत के वासी हैं.
वो तो हैं, मगर look, this is another aspect that I see now building, and I'll tell you why I used IPL as the example. And this is the perfect maybe last segment that we can talk about. India has a national civilizational identity. All of us have a civilizational identity as Max centers.
Hello, Max.
Yes, everybody say hi to Max. So we, in fact, the very soul of India at times gets questioned, where, on one side you have the eternal Yuva Neta of India saying, we are a union of states or something of whatever sort, and on the other side there is the BJP Hindutva ideology that believes that India is a civilizational entity, a continuing entity for at least 6,000 years. To be on the safer side, we can extend it to even more, but
yeah, and it will slowly come up because the kind of digging is happening all around the world. The invention is coming to India, from a wheel to everything.
Yeah.
Women leaders, few thousand years of much before than all these people. We'll see bigger shocking revelations.
But regional identities do exist, and in fact something that has been very interesting for me is how the BJP in Northeast functions vis-a-vis the BJP in Northern India, vis-a-vis the BJP in Maharashtra. But you mentioned Bengaluru. Actually, that's the perfect competition from an urban level perspective. Today, if you look at fintech investments, you look at IT, kudos to that city. I mean, jokes apart, that city has really done well when it comes to startup investments, starting new businesses, creating the environment for all engineers and tech folks to go there. Now, the one grouse, and I don't say this as a negative thing, I say this as an aspirational thing, is that how I wish Mumbai could have done that. So do you still see that hope in Mumbai?
The hope? I mean, hope is the only thing we work on and believe. Mumbai is doing much better. I'm just saying competitively and comparison wise, of course, Bengaluru is doing well. That does not mean Mumbai is not still number one. So let's be more clear about this.
We are always number one by default.
Mumbai's ecosystem, again I'm saying, from pop culture, Bollywood, to intellectual people, to startups, to what not. Mumbai is a dream city, ऐसे ही नहीं होती है ना वो. And I don't want to give that same old cliche answer. आदमी एक वड़ा पाव पे भी अपने सपने पूरे करता है, वो बात सच है. I've seen many, these examples of aspiration of Mumbai. Mumbai is a country itself. But then again, sometimes politically someone will say, oh, so you mean it's not for Marathi Manus? Of course it's Marathi. I'm a born and brought up Marathi, studied in Marathi. My regional identity as being Marathi is very important. My mother tongue is very important to me. Half the time I speak in Marathi to my children. Of course their replies are not beautiful because the mother is Marathi and the father is South Indian. But we respect each other's regional identity, but it's not more of regional, it's more of your Matrubhasha. Sometimes I tell people also that language, why they call it Matrubhasha, it connects to your heart, and only our civilization and human being is lucky to have so many languages to express itself. I always say, कोई किसी को कभी कभी जाति से भी दोस्त, आप कहीं अब्रॉड चले जाओ और वो अभी भारत से कोई मिल जाए, आप नहीं सोचोगे वो हिंदू मुसलमान खड़ा है या कोई जाति है दोस्त खड़ा है, कोई अपनी आपकी पंजाबी में शुरू कर दे, खट पंजाबी वाला रे. So that connect with language and that regionalism is there. But that does not mean that India is not whole united. Now, Mr. Rahul Gandhi in his skill of intellectual lines, it's quite questionable and frustrating to people like us who are learning and really learning in a very hard way to reach here. So India's that strength is there, but competitive federalism is also very important.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Very important.
At least Mumbai city should have that sense of competition, right?
Mumbai has it. See, Mumbai has only, I think Mumbai is a legend. All others learn from Mumbai to have that competitive attitude. अभी ये मैं नहीं कहूँगी कि ट्रेन से लटक के आदमी जाता नहीं, मुझे वो मेट्रो में एसी में जाए, एसी ट्रेन में बैठ के जाए, वो कहीं लटके ना और कहीं अपनी ज़िंदगी में पसीना ना बहाए. But Mumbai has that. Again, I'm saying the ecosystem of Mumbai, the spirit of Mumbai is fabulous. All others are learning from us only. That does not mean the legend is going down. The legend is doing well. And now we are Mumbai metropolitan region. We are strength. It's important. But Mumbai is part of Maharashtra. So how can it lose its regional identity? No.
So, okay, before we wrap up, if I was to ask you that today through this podcast, if you would want to give one message, one last message to anyone, it doesn't matter whosoever, whether it's your constituency, whether it's your city, whether it's your state, whether it's your country, what would that be?
We are right now in a great time for India. People who are born at this time, who are young at this time, who are even senior citizens of India. I've seen all stratas in age group. This is the right time to be in India. This is the right time to be in India. Because the bright spot we talk about, now India has become the global citizen. From your first question to last now the question, you see everybody is talking about India. They want to include India for their strength. It's not about India wants to include somebody else in their strength. When this momentum is happening, the hate politics, the politics of ego, the politics of divisiveness is not going to help us. What is going to help us is come together. For certain points on India, we all have to be together as Indians. And that when we decide, which again these are some good international practices, even we should learn from it. And maybe with our Puranas, believing, with our civilization, though we are democracy and the most vibrant democracy, India actually teaches democracy to all over the world. We need to just come together and enjoy the time of India and make sure in coming generation, India puts in that effort to become one of the top 3 countries. And we are not teaching only India as the aspirational India, but the religious India, the believing India, the holistic India. India is not only about roads, infrastructure. India is not only about mera startup kitna hua. Ye to we are doing perfectly fine. But India and its older civilization, India and its identity, which I think few years before we were hiding it from West, or we were always little uncomfortable to explain it to them. Now we are proud about it, and I'm very happy I'm in that generation where my children will understand the true sense of Bharat, and that's what I want to see.
All right, so somebody watches this outside Mumbai, comes to Mumbai and says, where do I get the best Marathi food?
Come home. And that happens. Delhi now, in my Delhi house, all my Marathi cuisine is taught to the Delhi cook. And I don't know, this fascination to vada pav, to everyone in Delhi.
That's about Mumbai thing, right, vada pav?
Yes, it's not a Marathi thing, but again a Marathi working
it's a
man
mixed
started.
Yeah.
Yes. So there is always a discussion also कि दिल्ली के वो bread पकोड़े या मुंबई का वड़ा पाव. Mostly Mumbai vada pav wins.
I agree. I could and I think that is the perfect way to end that podcast. Thank you very much.
And thank you, and I request everyone in this aspirational India to contribute to Kushal Mehra at ICICI.
Yes, please listen to her.
And for this interview also we are contributing because that's what the plan was. And I look forward to it. And I hope we do well.
Yeah, so
with a lot of love, troll and hate.
Yes, yes. See, the trolls are always welcome, but I was always reluctant to talk to leaders. I could have done it before, but I always used to avoid it. But then I had decided one thing: if I start, it's going to be with her. That was the deal I always had,
धन्यवाद.
and now you'll see politicians on the podcast. Is all I can say. But if you are from the constituency, you know, you have your member of parliament. She's on Twitter. She's on all social media platforms. You can complain over there, and if you like
They do.
what, yeah, they do. I know
Yeah.
they do.
They like me, that's why maybe.
Yeah.
People complain to those people who can perform. So I take it on a different aspect कि हाँ मैं कर सकती हूँ इसलिए आप मुझे पूछ रहे हैं.
Good, good. So let's wrap things up over here. Please support the podcast and try to be nice. मतलब गालियाँ कम दिया करो मुझे. मैं इतनी गालियाँ खाता हूँ कि मुझे आदत हो गई है उसकी. But I'll see you guys next time. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye bye.